What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we're taking a look at another film review. Today we're taking a look at The Flash, which came out earlier this year. And as I said in some of my Fortnite character challenges, I'm going to be the new advocate for DC. I'm going to try and put DC back into the limelight. I was a DC boy before I was a Marvel boy. I much preferred DC to Marvel. And that sort of changed when I saw Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man. They are the ones that brought me over to the Marvel side. They're the ones that made me love Marvel. And I kind of want to go back to DC, not going to lie. The current state of Marvel is atrocious. The current state of DC is even worse, though. But it's not getting as much love as it deserves. The films aren't getting enough love. They're not getting as much advertising as they should. Lego has given up on DC as well, not producing any DC sets and doing very little Batman sets, like maybe 1 or 2 a year, which again is very weak and is very disappointing. The animated movies are also not getting as much promotion or as much attention as they should either, because that's where DC actually strives. They strive in the animated movies, and even Fortnite has given up on them. Fortnite has stopped making DC skins. There is the least amount of skins of any sort of genre is DC. But let's get into the movie of The Flash. Barry Allen goes back in time to change the events of the past. However, as a result, the world is destroyed of its superheroes, or devoid of its superheroes, sorry. This story has been done. This story is called Flashpoint. It has an animated movie based on it, which is excellent. I will do a review on that another time. It has the CW have done this storyline in the first 2 seasons of The Flash, and is a beloved comic story of The Flash. So, how this story starts is The Flash is basically the janitor of the Justice League, helping out Batman as and where he can, cleaning up Batman's messes because he's fast and he can do it really quickly. We have him continuing and going and realizing he can run through time. He tells Bruce, and Bruce warns him not to do something. Iris then tells him he can do it and he should do it and gives him another idea. So he does. He changes the future and then gets hit into the present by an evil being. And he runs to his family, checks on how they're doing, and he sees himself coming back. So he talks to himself and needs to get himself struck by lightning. And in doing so, he loses his powers, but the younger version of him gets the powers. So there's 2 Flashes, 2 Barry Allens all the way through this movie. And they go back to his dorm room and they see his roommates, which are the people that he works with in the police department. However, this time, they are dumb college kids. And to be fair, they're from the Derry Girls. So I'm very proud of the Derry Girls for making it big into the DC universe. We then have a threat from Zod telling them that he's going to destroy the world and destroy the universe. So Barry tries to get the Justice League. He tries to go for Cyborg. Doesn't exist yet. Tries to find Wonder Woman. Hasn't been found yet. Tries to find Superman. Hasn't been found yet. Tries to find Batman and finds him. They go to Bruce Wayne's house, and it's not the Bruce Wayne he was expecting. It wasn't Ben Affleck. It was Michael Keaton, the Vulture from Spider-Man Far From Home. No, Homecoming. It is Birdman. So he reprises his role as Batman. They manage to help convince him to go and break out Superman from Russia, because obviously Batman knows where Superman is. And it's not Superman, it's Supergirl. They rescue Supergirl, and she helps them escape. They go back to Wayne Manor, go back to the Batcave, and Barry says he needs to get his speed back. So they throw the chemicals on him and struck him by lightning twice. He almost dies, but he does get his speed back, and they all go into battle to fight Zod and his army. We have the Flashes working together. We have Batman who gets killed. We have Supergirl that gets killed. So the Barrys try and run back in time to save them both. They do this about 3 or 4 times before they give up and say that this is a pivotal point. This is a perfect point. Something that has to happen. Something that will happen every time, no matter what they change. These 2 characters have to die. Young Barry won't accept that, and he keeps going back, and he keeps going back, and he keeps getting more Kryptonian shards stuck in him, whilst future Barry is fighting this dark demon of a character in the time sphere, which turns out to be a future version of young Barry, who has been stuck at this moment, at this point, trying to save Supergirl and Batman but failing and him not knowing why. And it has caused him to go crazy and to go mad and to punch him out of the time sphere so that he can create himself, which is a very weird paradox. Barry from the future then is about to be stabbed by Barry from the past. Well, evil Barry. And then Barry from the past jumps in front, saves him. So then future Barry runs back in time and stops himself from saving his mother, which then brings him back to the present. His dad looks at the camera and is freed from prison, but Batman is no longer Michael Keaton, nor is he... I forgot his name. Fuck. It's the third Batman. I forgot his name as well. I forgot his actor's name. So we now have a third Batman, and that is where the film ends. So, CGI in this film, let's take a look at the big elephant in the room. It is shit. The CGI is absolutely crap. I'm going to be honest, the super suits looked really shit. The Speed Force looked crap. Barry running really quick looked shit. It all just looked shit. This does not look like a $1 billion movie where like Warner Brothers worked on it to create a really cool superhero movie. It doesn't look like that. It looks like ass, not gonna lie. The visuals, it isn't too good. The acting, on the other hand, is decent. I like the acting and I like the story. The only thing holding it back was the CGI. But the story was really cool. I like The Flash. The Flash is one of my favorite superheroes. And I thought this story was really cool. I've seen it adapted in so many different ways. But I liked how they made Barry the villain. And I liked how they did the paradox thing. I thought that was really cool. And I liked the slow progression. You could see it throughout the entire film where young Barry was slowly sort of turning. And you could see his sort of evil tendencies and his bad guy tendencies coming through. So it wasn't as much as a shock as you expected, but you can sort of connect the dots as the movie goes and sort of expect it. So I thought that was really interesting. Something else, a fun fact, I actually bought this on DVD before I went to the cinema and watched it. So I bought this from Tesco's for £10. After hearing about it, hearing everyone saying it was shit, hearing everyone saying it was terrible, I spent £10 on this. And I am happy with my purchase. I enjoyed it. Yes, DVDs are still a thing. Yes, I have a DVD collection. Yes, I'm old. I'm 20 now. Get over it. I bought it on DVD. But the only thing that I'm disappointed was the CGI. The rest of it was great. I enjoyed the story. The acting was brilliant. They tried to do the No Way Home thing, like with Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire coming back as Spider-Man, with the two Batmans returning and reprising their role. I don't know, it wasn't as a big reveal because I don't believe those movies were as beloved as The Amazing Spider-Man and the Sam Raimi Spider-Man series. So I don't think it had the same impact. I understood their logic and I understood what they were going for. I just don't think it got the biggest reaction. Same with the multiverses collapsing in on itself. You got to see a load of other Supermen, and again, it didn't look that good. No one really cared about the older Supermen. It wasn't really as a big dramatic effect. We had Wonder Woman show up as well, which was a shock, but she's been in everything. She was in Shazam, she was in The Flash, and she was in another movie as well that came out recently. I do believe she's in Aquaman. So she's been doing the rounds in the DC universe. She's been everywhere and everywhere, helping everyone, but I didn't like how they did the time sphere. I thought it looked stupid. I just thought that the sphere thing didn't really make sense, but they dove into that quite a bit, like the time sphere. I liked the spaghetti analogy. I thought that was really interesting and a really clever way of looking at it, and another type of analogy instead of folding the paper and shoving a pen through it. It was a very good analogy with the spaghetti, and I liked it. One that I will use for myself when trying to explain stuff, because I'm a big fan of the multiverse. I do like dimensions, and I do like traveling dimensions and stuff like that. I think that story is cool. It is currently being overdone in media, with Doctor Strange failing at it, What If doing it superbly, Spider-Man doing it okay, and then Across the Spider-Verse doing it insanely well, and then Everything Everywhere All at Once doing it really well, South Park not doing a good job at it. South Park did it quite shit, but I do believe that the multiverse is a good thing and can be done well. You just have to do it right. If you're going to do it, you got to do it right, because it is being overdone and overused now. So if you want to do it, you have to make it interesting and spectacular. Otherwise, it's going to fail and flop. like the Flash did. But I am going to put half of the shit that the Flash movie got on Ezra Miller and everything that he did. He was the one who solely brought down this movie. If it wasn't the CGI, it was him. Because that's the only other issue that I can think of with this film, is that he plays two of the main characters from this film, two of the star characters, both played by this guy, and he single-handedly brought down the film with all of his actions over in Hawaii, getting arrested, all of the shit that this actor did, awful and atrocious. I don't like this actor. I don't think he should come back as the Flash. I don't like this actor at all. I think all of his actions are wrong and awful, and I don't agree with them. But this film is good. I do enjoy this film. His actions have nothing to do with this film. His actions were his alone, and this film is separate from him. So I don't think the film should be penalized because of his actions, because this film is actually incredible, and I think it is overhated, and I think it's hated because of him. And that is understandable. I do understand why people hate the film because of him, with him playing two major roles in it. However, I do believe you should still give the film a chance, because I do enjoy it and I do like it, and The Flash is one of my favorite superheroes. The only thing holding it back is the CGI, honestly. The acting, the story, everything about it was decent. It wasn't ecstatic, spectacular. It was just decent. It was okay. It was a good story, had a good message, that you can't fuck with time, and the shit that happens makes you who you are. If you go back and change that, you'll end up being a different person. And that's what we see between the two Barrys. We see them both being different with how they're brought up, how they're raised, the opportunities they had and what they didn't have showed how they grew and how they changed as a person, as well as one of them being the Flash for a while and the other one being the Flash for a short amount of time. Him obviously going crazy with power, trying to be this superhero without having the training, without having the experience or anything like that. He's just trying to live up to the other one, but he hasn't had all this experience, and he doesn't he doesn't fully trust the other one. And I like that message. I think that's quite cool and quite interesting. I am going to give this film a solid 8 out of 10. That might be too generous, okay? I once I said that out loud, I'm taking that back. I am going to give this film a 7 out of 10. Only knocking it down by another point, but it is dramatic. I am doing the Bevo, the solid 7 out of 10. But yeah, I feel like that's what this film deserves. But yeah, but yeah, that's my 2 cents. That's how I feel about this film, and that's where I'm gonna leave it. I hope you all enjoyed this YouTube video. If you do like my content, if you do like me, please do check out the link in the description, which will take you across to my link tree where you can take a look at everything else that I have to offer. And if you like my YouTube channel the most, stick around, check out another video. The link will be in the description on that video as well. So, other than that, hope you all enjoyed. See you all next one. And I'm actually leaving now, so enjoy your day. Bye-bye.